Hey guys, it's Aggie K, Wealth Therapist. Welcome to today's episode. I guess it's an episode. Why that savings account is not juicy, okay? And how to get it juicy with my holiday season wealth hacks. So welcome. Talking about savings today, guys. Hey, Savoy. Hey, Laura. Why you don't have enough in that savings account from a mindset perspective. Let me block that hideous looking outlet. Hey, Megan. Hey, Annika. Feeling better today, guys. Thank you so much for all of your love. My body purged all that up leveling yesterday, and I am back at it today. So 5 top reasons why your savings account is not juicy the way that you want it to be. Number one, it's not a priority, right? Number one is that it's not a priority. If it was a priority to have your savings account juicy, then there'd probably be more in it. But it's not a priority probably in the same way that making money is, that having money in your checking account is. So if you want it to be more of a priority, you have to start thinking about it more. You probably think about money in your checking account. You think about money coming in from clients, but you don't think about a savings account. You give it no love. So it is not juicy because it gets no love. So you need to love on your savings account. Think about it. Think about putting money into it. And move it up the list of priorities. Probably getting staff, getting clients, making money is way above savings on the list of priorities. Am I right, guys? Probably true, right? So I want you to start bringing it up the priority list. Start giving some time and attention in your thoughts to savings and how good it would feel. Definitely for me, having had a scarcity mindset, it was about living in the now and living in the moment and never thinking about the future. That was not a way in which I cared for myself. And that really is what the wealth we're after, is being cared for in the future, right? Which is what savings really is. Starting to think about like, hey, I want to think about myself now, but I also want to think about myself in the future. So if we can relax about the now a little bit, we can start thinking about the future, and that's a little bit more wealth conscious. So number one, it's not on your list of priorities. I want you to give some love to your savings, give some love to your savings account. Even write a letter and be like, I'm so sorry you've been empty. I'm so sorry that there's been so little in there. I'm so sorry I've ignored you. Right? The part that you're ignoring is the part of yourself that thinks long-term, that thinks you can really make it, that thinks this is going to last forever, right? Everything else is about the immediate future, about instant gratification. Oh my God, I keep trying to block this, this outlet on my wall. This is about thinking for your future, that it's not just for the moment. Yeah, there's times to live in the moment, of course, but when we're talking about money and savings, we're talking about believing in your future and that you're going to be around doing what you're doing 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So start thinking about that and investing some thoughts and investing some time into your savings. Okay. Think about it like energy, right? Number 2, top 5 reasons why your savings account is not as juicy as you would like it to be. It's not part of your identity, right? It's not part of who you think of yourself as. You may not think of yourself as a saver. Some people do. Some people are just savers and they don't see themselves as spenders at all, for example. But if you have had a scarcity mindset, then you probably don't think of yourself as a saver. And you need to change that identity. Maybe saving sounds boring. Maybe saving sounds like growing up. Maybe saving sounds like way too much adulting and you already do enough adulting. So maybe you need to change it up. Maybe you need to change up what that saving identity represents for you. It could be something like, well, I was going to go through the things and then tell you how to fix it, but I might as well go through the fixes as we go. So if the savings identity is boring and it doesn't excite you, that's part of the problem, right? Energy doesn't go places where we're not excited. But what if instead of saving, you were like guardian of the empire of cash? you know, that has a whole different vibe to it. You know, those little names you even put in your savings account, you can have a nickname. Call it, you know, custodian of cash flow, for my future, for my, you know, relaxed future where I don't have to ever think about money. But you want to get excited about it and have it be part of your identity and start thinking of yourself as a person who does save and who is responsible and who thinks about the future and who is wealth conscious. Start thinking of yourself that way, because it may be that nobody around you ever, you know, thought very much about savings. They were like, I have my house and, you know, that's it. Or, you know, or I don't even have that. And we live moment to moment. If we have enough for today, that's enough. And that wealth consciousness, that prosperity consciousness is about shifting an identity where you're thinking about, you know, savings and the future and seeing that as part of yourself, not just the spender, not just living for the now, right? That you're thinking about, that you're planting seeds now for your future because you have to plant them now for the future. You don't want to be, you know, late in life scrambling to think about savings. You want to start that habit now, and it's a habit. It's a habit of the way that you're thinking about yourself. So it's about shifting that identity. Who is a saver? Why don't you think of yourself as a saver? Why can't you be both? An entrepreneur, and a saver, for example, and someone who's really good at spending, for example. Why can't you be good at saving? Why can't you cultivate that? So think about that. Think how you can work that into your identity so that it's fun and exciting for you. It's another reason people don't invest, because they don't think of themselves as investors, right? You can be an investor every day. You can read the business section of the news every day. You can make one phone call a day to learn something new about investing, about cryptocurrency, about real estate, about, you know, any other ways to build your wealth. So that's another step. Number 3, the reason that your savings account is not juicy is probably because you are living client to client or paycheck to paycheck or income to income, because it leaves you very close to the line of drama. It leaves you very close to the line of drama. It leaves you very close to the line of sabotage and victimhood. Right? If you're never very far past that and you don't have enough savings, then you're always living on the edge, you know, and it can bring a sort of a thrill. Even if it doesn't, you know, even if it's stressful, it can bring some kind of adrenaline. It can bring some kind of action, that you're living on the edge, that someone might have to save you, that it's an easy way to get back into victim mode. Like, I don't have enough. I haven't looked out for myself, so someone has to help me. And it brings, you know, it brings pressure, which is not a thing that you want, but that living paycheck to paycheck and not accounting for the savings is hurting you in the long term. So it's kind of a way to not look after yourself, right? And you got to recognize that. And most people are in denial about savings. They're just in denial about it. Thank you, honey. I'm feeling better. And you want to get out of denial. The paycheck to paycheck is being in denial. Anyone can save 10%. I don't care what the paycheck is, you can save 10%. The 10% that you take off the top, and that's my tip for this, is like, just take it off the top. Just take it off the top. And it's amazing how fast it grows when you take it off the top and you just move it into the savings and you don't look at it and you pretend like it's not there if it's not your habit to do so yet. So that you get out of the drama. Right? So that you get out of the drama, you get out of the victim stuff, because anyone can do 10% off the top. Anyone can do it. Pretend it's not there. And if you're not used to doing that, then raise your prices by 10% and then put that 10% away. And that's a good habit to cultivate. Number 4 is you're not making enough money, probably. Probably you're making just enough. And whenever you get more, you're catching up on something instead of putting a little bit of that away. So you got to raise your prices a little bit, at least by 10%, and that will account for your savings. And you want to you want to make more than enough. So you want to look at, why am I only making this much, and why am I not making more? Why am I not putting some away? Well, because maybe my husband has a pension. Maybe there's a reason you don't want to save and you think, oh, well, that's someone else's job. And that's also kind of like handing all of your, your future over to somebody else. And you don't know if that's secure. Things change all the time. And it's nice to have your own savings, and it's nice to have, the possibility to do something with that and to see something grow, right? Checkings is like an instant gratification. You get paid right away. You go spend it. There's an instant gratification. And this is about kind of evolving emotionally and saving for something and having a goal to save for something. And, there's something very special about that. And those of us who grew up in poverty or scarcity consciousness aren't used to that. Maybe we want it now because we don't know if we're ever going to get it again. And that's the scarcity consciousness. We want to go buy it now because we don't know that we're ever going to get it again, right? That's where that old subconscious loop pops up. Hey, Paige. So you guys want to make sure that you're thinking about that. Hey, when I'm not saving, that means I'm saying I'm never going to get more. So I need to use it up now. I need to use it up right now, this second. And there's something beautiful about watching a garden grow. Give yourself the opportunity to have that long-term experience with your money and savings. That's a gift. That means I can hang on to it. It means I don't have to, dissipate all my energies, which brings me to point number 5, which is really kind of the most important point in a lot of ways of all of this as to why your savings account is not as juicy as you want, is because you don't know how to conserve energy. You don't have not that you don't know how, but you don't have the practice. You don't have the habit of conserving your energy. And so you don't have the habit of conserving your money. Can you see the connection there? You're probably a person who is used to giving and used to getting all of their props from giving and their self-esteem from giving. And so it's this like endless giving that creates this type of pattern. And if you don't conserve your energy, you end up with nothing, right? You give it all away. You give all your money away. You spend all your money, and you spend all your energy. And you spend all your goods, right? And there's nothing left for you. So that's really the foundational piece under all of that. This is to look at that, at those patterns of needing to get rid of, not being able to hold on to the energy because it has some kind of there's no home for it, right? There's no home for it. So as much as circulation is important, it's also important to be able to hold on to money and keep it for savings and make sure you're taken care of, right? To make sure you have enough. Yes. Hey, Lisa. Absolutely, right? The overgiving is a symptom and ends up, costing us a lot of energy. And there can often be a relationship there between losing too much energy and giving all our money away too, investing in things that maybe we could save up for example. Or just buying stuff mindlessly, right? As we head into the holidays, this is like a holiday hack, right? Holiday wealth consciousness hack. As we head into the holidays, think about conserving your energy. Think about, be thoughtful about it. Be thoughtful about where your money goes. Be thoughtful about how you spend it. Be thoughtful about leaving some for you and not anticipating, not kind of getting yourself into a mess that you're going to have to dig yourself out of come the new year. And look at because this time of year, everybody's kind of like running on empty. So fuel up. Don't go into the holidays. Fuel up and start with anything. Start with $5 in your savings account. Start with $1 a day if you can. It adds up. That compound interest adds up. And so does conserving your energy and your life force, right? That's the thing that makes you money. So you want to conserve that and look at where am I draining energy? Where am I not holding long-term for myself? Where am I giving up? Where am I giving in? Where am I giving too much? So those are the 5 points. I think I addressed all the fixes there, right, guys? Yeah. So number 1 is, just to recap quickly, is it's not your priority. The reason your savings account isn't juicy is number one, because it's not your priority. You don't think about it. You don't love on it. You don't give it the attention that you do to your other accounts, to other money that's coming in. So start doing that and you're going to start seeing a shift. Number two, it's not part of your identity. You don't see yourself as a saver necessarily. You're so welcome, Annika. You don't see yourself as a saver. So shift that. How can you start seeing yourself as someone who saves, someone who invests, someone who's really good with money? Start changing how you see that. Number three, you are living very close to the line, right? You want to live really close to the line of drama or sabotage or victimhood, and that not savings keeps you in that. So ask yourself, why? Why don't I need a buffer? Why don't I want a buffer? Ask yourself that question. You're making enough, but not more than enough is another reason. Savings account is not juicy. So add 10%. Start adding 10% to your prices, just like a tax. That's your savings, comes off the top. And then you will have, taking 10% off each transaction, for example, that comes in adds up to a lot. I paid like my car and home insurance in 2 months, in a month, just for the transactions that came in, and I didn't even notice it. So start doing that off the top and you'll see a difference. You'll see a difference giving it love and attention. And number five, the final one, is you don't conserve your energy. Start thinking about conserving your energy, having a big reflection on how you conserve your money as well. So when you slow things down, you start to hold on to things for yourself. And often we don't want to hold on to things because we don't want to hold on to emotions. And there could be some resistance to that. So see how you can conserve your energy a little bit more. Put the reins on all the overgiving, and go into the holiday season holding on to something for yourself, okay? And it's going to feel a lot better if you do that. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Guys, I'm going to try and make a quick little PDF of this that'll pop in the comments that you can opt in for. And I hope this was helpful. It's Aggie K. This was really fun. Thanks for joining me. And if you like or if you have questions, please post in the comments, share, like, love. Lots of love to you guys. See you soon.